Last year I made this orchard, and I've got 2 or 3 videos up showing pretty in depth how I did it. And I also planted newly rooted figs that I got off of fig bed mostly. And so I got them in during the winter months. I rooted them and I put them right in the ground. Well, during the spring and early summer, I noticed that they weren't doing very good at all. So what I ended up doing was pulling them all up and put them into these pots like you see behind me here. And so I said, well, they were struggling so badly that what I need to do is give them time to mature. And so that's what I've done. And this year I'm replanting them in the orchard now that they're a little over a year old. So, and you can probably see behind me, and you'll see as I show you in this video, that they're a good bit more mature and the root base is a good bit better. And so we're gonna give in-ground zone 8A Central Arkansas a shot. If we're looking at the figs, I used the existing setup to water them. They've been out here, probably I'd say 3 to 4 weeks now in these pots. And in the pots I have them overwintered in the makeshift greenhouse that I had, but I brought them out here probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I put the little drip emitters in each one of these pots because I'm going to plant them in the location here next to each T-post. But it's real simple. I've got a hose here that's on a wire that's secure with a wire so it wouldn't sag too much when it's full of water, and I got an emitter. And the emitter goes down and feeds each little container. It keeps it alive. Essentially, it's the exact same thing as my lazy garden setup over there, but it's just in the field. So what I'm going to do is, this particular fig here is Malta Black. And I'm going to take this Malta Black here. I got a scale on there. More scale there too. Well, I tell you, those scales are something. So anyway, I'm going to take this Malta Black here and I'm going to plant it in its location here next to this T-post, and I'll show you that. So what you're looking at right here is aged rice hulls. I've got a video up on that showing me getting this medium. I've grown all kinds of things directly in these aged rice hulls and nothing else, and I use water-soluble fertilizer. But all that is just here in Central Arkansas, Stuttgart, city of Stuttgart, we've got a company that fills the fields full of rice hulls, and they just sit there for years and age, and it makes it a medium that is capable of supporting any kind of growing all on its own, which I was quite amazed. I've done trials on it, growing all manner of things from beans to squash to tomatoes to peppers, all that. And so the majority of my figs have been growing over the past year, mostly entirely on aged rice hulls. So the first thing we need to do this planting is get 5 shovelfuls of these aged rice hulls. I've got this little container here. It's got kind of trash on one side and zip ties with a little cutter here that'll become apparent in a minute why I've got that. So I take extra pieces and trash, but this is the drip and I put it in this side, and this is the drip, and I'm going to set it aside for now. And I'm going to move the plant out of its location so that I can dig the hole for the fig. I take a first little bit here, out of the way, and I put it, just everything that comes in the shovel, into that wheelbarrow full of rice hulls, the 5 scoops I showed you. Just like that. Now I want to get the hole a little bigger. I wouldn't say twice as big, but maybe 1.5 times as wide as the container is in right now. And my soil is primarily clay. It's I won't say it's not horrible soil, but it's clay. And it's not the best to work with. It's not loam or anything like that. So yeah, that's the size of the hole. We got the shovel for kind of a reference. And I wanted to mention here, not only is it clay, but you can see over there behind the orchard, that's my pond. Let me raise the camera up here. I'd say it's about a 1/4 acre pond. And to dig, that was a dug, it was flat terrain, that was a dug pond. And every bit of that was brought out here. And it is laden, I mean laden with rock. And it is a pain, this area up here. It's built up, which is good for drainage and stuff, which is, you know, okay and all that. But yeah, it's full of rock and it's a little bit hard to deal with. But this is a prime piece right here of property for the fig orchard. So I've got my little handy dandy bench here, and I can use it like this to sit up higher. I can flip it over and sit right on the ground almost. So in this particular case, what I'm doing now is I'm prepping the clay for mixture into the rice hulls. And you can see here that we've got a mess. But the good thing about clay, when it's not absolutely saturated, is it breaks up pretty easily, like this. See that? So all I do is break it up, and I'll throw away big pieces of rock and any plant material, and prepare it for the mixing. And the way I mix this is the way I mix all my different soil mixes for various different things like seed starting and all that. And I do it right here in the wheelbarrow. But yeah, you got full of grass and rock. If it's sludgy, really moist, or too wet, it won't break up like this. I just toss it. There's so much material here. And you can even take and just do this, and it breaks it into really small pieces here. So I'm gonna finish this. I'll make sure that there's, you know, I'll probably do it just talking. That it's better to break it up into small pieces of clay before you mix it with the rice hulls. It mixes easier. And it's not complicated. I'd say it takes me about, see, like this is really clumpy because it's wet, saturated, becomes like Play-Doh. But yeah, it takes me probably 15-20 minutes to plant one tree. And lately, I'm just getting to it just now, but lately, as I'm getting more into it, I've been doing a few trees a day. So right now in this orchard, I've got like right around 50 trees that need to go in ground. And next year, Well, it's also going to be a test if I can overwinter the trees. So I'll carry you along for that and show you my plan for that. I've already got the workup, my plan for it, and I'll video the plan. But so I wanted to test the 50 or so that I've got. I want to see how many I can keep alive, because there's a lot of factors. And we get into single digits, and I'll have complete dieback if I don't do some sort of protection. Yeah, even in zone 8A, you're not assured, because we got single digits for days this past couple winters. Okay, I will carry you along when I do that, but right now, underneath the clay here, now that I've processed it, I'm going to mix it. And the way I do it is I take my hands and I go underneath and I lift it and twist. Lift it and twist, and it mixes really good. And the clay is quite heavy compared to any other mix, as you can imagine, so it is not the easiest. Look at that. Still got some grass and stuff. It's not the easiest to do, but it's completely manageable. It's not horrible rock. And it just takes about 3 or 4 little twists like that, and it is everything I need right there. All right, let's get the little tree here. We'll put it right here for now, and I'll flip my handy dandy seat over, get it low to the ground. And what I'm going to do with this pot is I'm going to pop it like this so that it is loose, and I'm going to remove, like this has bark mulch. I don't want any bark mulch in it at this point. And I'm going to take the tag here, which is a metal tag that says, what did we say it was, Malta Black, and I'm going to move it up higher onto the tree so that it's a little easier to see. Plus I have a tag I'll show you at the end here as well. So we've done this. Now what I do is I kind of lean it. This tree right here should be pretty robust with good roots, but a lot of the trees are not. They're barely established roots. So I take it out like that. I put the bucket over there. Now on the bottom here, okay, not with this one, but on the bottom of a lot of them, there's a piece of felt like this that blocks the hole, because I'd originally used these for a hydroponic setup. Here it is. It either has felt or a piece of netting that I use for hydroponics. So anyway, I've got this little fork here, and what I'll do, see here's trash, I put it in here. What I do is I take and I just scrape here. Now this one's not bad. Some of them are really root bound. They're really aggressive growers. And all I'm doing is I'm breaking up some of these roots here. And I'm gonna place it in the hole. Now, this is a tall tree, so I don't mind putting it deeper. No problem whatsoever. There's no graft junction or anything like that, like other fruit trees have. And if I can get a little deeper, there's no harm, no foul. So now I'm going to continue, and I'm going to take my shovel. I'm going to get some of that mix you saw me mix. I'm going to put it in here all the way around. And I'm just going to tamp it down with the shovel, get it down in there pretty good. And then I'm going to take, which you will see, the whole wheelbarrow. I'm going to dump it. All of it. Dump it all. I'm going to put a wheelbarrow and shovel over there for the next tree. I'm going to take this, and I purposely want to mound it up a little bit because, like I said, it's got so much rock and stuff in it. If it can, if I can get this and mound it and it performs better, then what I'll do over time is I'll build each one up a little bit more and a little bit further out, if that's what it takes to be successful out here. But for this year, I'm just going to build it up this little bit. And I've got a lot of organic matter mixed in with the native soil, the native clay here. And so this Malta Black, I thought it was Maverick, but this Malta Black is a gorgeous little tree. It's already got the branching I want and everything. It's got the height with the branching for the tree and all that. So as time goes on, I will either, I haven't made up my mind completely, either form it into a tree, which will be close cropped, or maybe let it grow out as a bush and then close crop. Or maybe I'll do both and see which ones work better. I tend to like to do both. All right, for the next thing is we got to set the drip. So I can do this all in real time here with one filming, can I? This angle. So the drip, like before, was set up to go into the container, but it works just well. I just need to cut off a little bit of it, just like so. And I'll take a zip tie and I'll zip tie it to where it kind of sticks out away from the T-post, and the zip tie keeps it in place from high winds, and it doesn't, because the way the T-post is designed, it can't clamp down too hard, but there's enough restriction that'll keep it kind of angled out into here. And what I do is I'll take some of this and I'll make a little bit of a pocket here, that way it'll go down and can dispense. And so that's it for this tree. And I'll just put the label up here, I'll show you that, and that's pretty much it. I'll even take you in close to kind of show you what it looks like. All right, I've got a tag here. All this is it's a material similar to a cutting board, some types of cutting board, and I used it for microgreens. But since I'm no longer doing microgreens, I've repurposed it. I just used a basic saw to cut them, what's it called, a ripping saw, whatever it's called. I used it and I just cut up all my material to make these little labels here, and their majority of these I'm just reusing from last year, and they look just as ideal as they did last year. So I take a zip tie through it and I just affix it to the T-post. Now the T-post serves several functions. I probably mentioned this in the other videos, but it serves as an indicator of the tree with the label on it. It holds the cable and a water half-inch tubing up, along with a drip emitter that goes down the T-post. So it holds it at a height where I can mow underneath it. So we're going to fix this to the post, and I'm just going to take the little cutters here and cut them up, cut that, and that does it. That tree is absolutely done, and we'll move on to the next one. So before I showed you that tree right there, I'd already done all these here, and I'm not going to do another one for you because they're identical and it'd just be a waste of your brain space. So extrapolate. We're going to do all of those just like we did that one. I'm going to take you down here and show you kind of what a year's growth looks like for various trees here, and you can see how quickly I can identify each tree which can be an issue when you have a lot of trees, you're trying to locate them. You know, to go up and bend over and go, oh, what's this tree? Oh yeah, Portuguese purple. When you can stand up straight and read Portuguese purple. So I've removed a lot of these because the trees are not planted in the same place as last time. I numbered them a little bit differently, and those are the exact ones I used last year that is in the other video, and I will use those again for the other ones that I put in ground. So there's 100 spots here. I'm only going to use about 50 this year, but I'm going to add to it, and my hope is that I can use all 100. If I can't use for all varieties, and some of the varieties do really good, especially after they start maturing, then I'll fill this with a dark, probably 2 or 3 different kinds of figs. I'll just do a ton of like Hardy Chicagos and maybe, I don't know, an Adriatic or a Ronde Bordeaux or something like that, because part of what I'm going to do is a U-pick and maybe a selling to restaurants. So I get the question a lot, what are you going to do with all those figs? Well, that's it. I'm going to eat them. I plan to do a U-pick, and also I'll be selling some of them, and maybe even some restaurants. This is what I'm doing in retirement. It's just kind of one of those weird hobbies that I've taken up. It's really interesting to me because figs absolutely taste wonderful, and the variety is all over the place, more than any other fruit I've ever seen. It's just, you have all mixtures of kinds of fruits, from caramel to vanilla to strawberry to raspberry to mixed berry to grape to, man, just everything you can think of just about, and they're wonderful. So I'll wrap up this video, and I'll bring you back. I'll show you the lazy garden.